Hello, hello, hello. Hang on, guys. I'm trying to get my live up. That way I could see guys' comments. I'm going to get started in a minute. Let me adjust this a little bit. Y'all hear my 2-year-old, ignore her. She's in a mood, like always. Alright. We're going to make a book I haven't made in a while tonight. Sorry if the thing's wiggling. I got to be able to see what I'm doing here. Yeah. Okay. Everybody see me okay? Hear me? Give me a thumbs up. We're good? We're ready to go? Ready to make something cool tonight? Hey, everyone. Alright. While everyone else is coming in. Hang on, let me turn this out. Okay, good. Well, I'm right next to the phone, so. Alright. So, we're going to make accordion books. I've been making these since I was like 12-ish, somewhere around there. I'm sure you guys have seen the hard accordion book like this that has been circling around everywhere that makes the accordion. Yep, that was me. I came up with this. This is one that I made last year. I hadn't made them since, like I said, middle school. But this is an example of the accordion book. And tonight, I'm going to show you this, but we're going to make a different one. Obviously, it opens like this. I have a video somewhere of me explaining how I came up with this and everything like that. This is Alice in Wonderland themed. But this is an example of an accordion. You know, it makes that accordion thing. That's the accordion book. The one, and those of you who've followed me for a while know that I do not like to make normal journal books. I just started making normal ones. I like unusual ones like this. And like this. Yes, that's a wearable journal book that I made as an art thing for this art club thing that I'm in. And stuff like this. I love making unusual books. That is my thing. House-shaped books. All kinds of books. So, we're going to start making an unusual book, which is the accordion book. And we're going to make the square one tonight. They all kind of follow the basic same concept with each other. They all fold out like this. And they're not hard to do. They're pretty easy. And they're kind of fun to decorate. And like I said, they're unusual journaling books. And I like unusual because that's just my thing. So this is what we're going to make tonight. The accordion journal book. Super easy, and we're going to make it out of one of my favorite papers tonight, the Rose Perfume by Stamperia. I was going to use a smaller paper pad, but when you use a smaller paper pad, you have to use the whole sheet. And I like using the 12 by 12 because I can get 4 sheets that go in the book from one sheet of this. So the less you use of it, the better. And what I usually do is I usually pick ones that have like kind of a solid background like this, but more like a repeated pattern like this, so that way it can be your background when you decorate the book and journal in it. And yes, I've made lots of these already. I haven't made any in a while in my Etsy shop because I've been working on other books. But hopefully, I do have some heart accordion books still in my Etsy shop. So now it will be 7 sheets total, 6 by 6 paper. And I don't like to use them all out of, I don't know if you, oh yeah, y'all can see, out of the same paper, like, you know, using just 2 sheets and making them. I will usually make a few of these books at once, so that way I can kind of mix the papers up and everything. But it's really gorgeous paper and I love it. And I'm going to be getting some more of this in. I do have some in my Etsy shop now. And I also have the backgrounds that go with it. Let's see. I know I have that right here. I have a hoard of paper in my craft room that I feel like I'm kind of like a drug dealer. I kind of take some off the top, so to speak, when I get my Stamperia orders in. They also have this background paper, and it's called Rose Perfume. And I have one of these left in my Etsy shop, but I'm getting more either tomorrow or Wednesday, because I prepared, because it's very popular, because it just came out last year. So, these things are always so fun to open. But this one is actually pretty good also for these types of books. So that way, you have like a continuous background on them. And they do make a lot of these for background purposes. So, something like this works really, really well for these kind of books. so that's like the perfect background sheet. You want something continuous. It's just easier because when you decorate it in your book, you don't have to, you can add a little bit of something extra to it and it doesn't feel like you're covering it up. But this is not in the regular Rose Perfume collection. This is the actual background. So, we'll look at some of these. Oh, that right here. We're using this one. And you also have to use some for the cover of this book. I do this cover now out of chipboard and paper. This is actually a cork. And so that's what we're going to do tonight. And I'm thinking this is going to be the cover right here because that just stands out to me. That screams cover. So let's look at these. It also comes with the sheet like this. And if you want to cut all this out, go right ahead. I would make my husband cut this out before I would even touch it because of that. Because that just gives me an energy. I would probably cut it out in strips and then put it in the book. Because that would be so much better. So let's see what we got here. This book is 6 by 6, and I'm going to show you how to fold it. I actually like the backgrounds, I think, better for this because they just look nice. I mean, so I think we're going to use the background. Like I said, I have more of these in my Etsy shop, but I'll have more in tomorrow or Wednesday whenever the shipment gets here, along with the new paper pad new collection called Welcome Home. I have all the ephemera packs that come with it and the paper. It's gorgeous. Love it. Okay, so let me get this other paper pad out of here. Alright, so if you want to use smaller sheets, you can. I just like using this because it's so simple. There's not a lot of measuring to do. All you got to do is it's 12 by 12. So you can get 4 sheets out of one of these. That's wonderful. I hate wasting paper. And let me get my paper cutter here. And they're just going to be perfect squares, 6 by 6, just like that. And if you want to distress the edges, I recommend doing that after you fold them, but before you attach them together. You can do it after that, but it's a little bit harder. And you it's easier to just put them in a stack and distress them with ink or whatever you want. You can even, I probably would choose a pinkish color if I have one to match to distress it. Or I would probably choose something like walnut stain or ground espresso, because that to me looks more vintagey than the vintage photo. That's my least favorite ink, is the vintage photo. I don't think it looks vintage. I think it looks orangish brown, so I don't like it. So I don't really use it that much. But I like ground espresso though, a lot. I think we'll put this blue one in here. I'm going to put these other ones to the side. That way we can get a more patterned look like that. Everyone having a good Monday? I am, but I'm tired. I just got done working out for 2 hours before this. And listening to my toddler go completely lunatic downstairs. She gets hyper in the evening time. I don't know why. I'm sure you'll hear eventually. Oh, and the other, I do 3 different types of accordion books. The square accordion, the hard accordion, and I came up with the tea book. It's shaped like a little tea bag, like you put in your drink. Accordion book also. I'm not sure if we'll have time today to do it, but if we don't, I may do it in the next live, or I don't know, I may go live again, because this one is one that I actually designed myself and did. It's got little pockets here on the side. I've actually journaled a few pages in here. And it's been so long since I've opened it. But this is also another style of accordion book that I made up and designed myself. So this one's another one. I forgot about that one. And hang on one second. I'm just looking behind me to see all those good things. Oh, awesome organization. I actually was organizing some stuff because I still have Christmas presents that people gave me in the box, and I just opened this one, and I was going to fill it up, and then I was like, I had to go live, so this is actually pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of a Polly Pocket. Let me see if I can get it to, there you go. And it's like little thingies, compartments for like beads and stuff like that. So it was really neat. I got it for Christmas. And it's pink. You know, everyone knows I like pink because pink is awesome. Everything in my craft room is pink. Eventually, I'm going to make it spread across my bedroom and my husband won't notice. Alright, so we have our sheets here. You need 7 sheets, so let's divide it up. Put it in the order, put it in some kind of order here. You kind of want to make them different. You don't want them all clumped up together. And, let's see. We'll just do kind of a pattern one. That, like this. What do we got? 5, 6. Wait a minute. That one. This one looks different. No, it's not the same. I didn't think it was the same. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. Let's see. Now you have enough for another book if you want them. So the folding. Oh, thank you. Thank you for liking my weirdness. I'm kind of spastic all over the place sometimes. You don't really need the scoring board, so just get one of these or a ruler. Actually, I like this one better, so we'll use this one. Okay, so the folding is really simple. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to take it, fold it in half. And also, this live will be uploaded probably tomorrow on my YouTube channel, so you can go back and watch it. And any supplies that I use in here, I'll put them, I list them in the description so people can find them. So you have it folded in half, and you're going to turn it this way, and you're going to fold it in half again. So it's going to make like 4 squares, 4 folded squares, like this. So you have them folded like that. Then you're going to turn it over like this, and you're going to hold it this way in a diamond shape, and we're going to fold it this way after you turn it over. Oh, and thank you for the likes and the gifts and everything like that. So then, what you want to do, so then it will have that kind of accordion kind of feel to it. Here, let me show you again. I got distracted by you guys on here. So fold it over in half. Fold it this way. Actually, here, let me show you the page. Alright, so fold it in half. Fold it this way. Okay, so then you have this, and then it's going to go like that. You want to flip it over, and then the sides that are going to stay non-folded are the one you have at the top and bottom. So if you do have a design on it and you want that to be unfolded, you want to make sure you keep those in the unfolded squares. Because if you fold it, you're going to have it creased or whatever. You may not want it that way. Or you may do, I don't know. So when you put it back, it kind of folds up like this, the two edges. And it kind of makes a mouth when you put it down together like that. And that's what, when you open it up, it goes like this, and you can decorate it, and you'll have the front and the back. And I'll show you how to attach them here in just a second. So there's 2 pages. I think the longest thing that actually is time consuming is if you distress the pages, honestly, because it's just folding. And when I don't recommend any kind of liquid glue on these except for the cover, because a glue runner like this works better at putting them together. Because then you don't have any bubbles or anything like that. It's more even, and it's nice and flat. So, yeah. So, next one. So, we got, what, 3 so far? We're going to put this one this way. And it's okay to mix up, like, if you use, like, 2 of each paper, I would probably flip them over and fold them a different way, just so you can have them kind of mixed up in the batch. That way they're not all going the same way. Because you're going to kind of overlap them when you put them together. And yes, this paper is gorgeous. I love it. This is one of the few flowery paper pads that I actually like. I'm more like a steampunk or the unusual ones. The Cosmos and stuff like that. I like that kind of paper a lot. It's 6 by 6. So when you use a sheet of paper from the 12 by 12 pad, you can get 4 sheets out of it when you cut it. I made it that way on purpose because I don't like wasting paper. You can also use one of the 8 by 8 pads of Stamperia paper, I guess. They do have 6 by 6 ones. Not sure if you would get 7 full sheets out of it though, because there's only 10 sheets total, and most of the time they have those extra tags and ephemera pages, stuff like that. So I would have used the only 6x6 pad that I actually have right now is the classic Christmas one that I had left over. I sell the paper. I work for Embellishment as a distributor, and I sell the paper in my Etsy shop. So I kind of have a hoard in the other room of paper, and in this room that I work with, among other Stamperia products, because they don't just make paper, they make everything. Okay, so we got what, 6? We're on number 7. How did I fold this one? Where is that? Okay, I'm going to fold this one inward. Hopefully I won't forget that you guys are up there, because I always kind of zone out when I'm doing this, especially if it's quiet up here and there's not a screaming toddler running around, and I kind of zone out for a second. And then I'm going to show you how to put these together, and then we're going to make a cover to go along with it. And I've done different variations of these. I've done them with circles, I've done them with doilies, I've done them all kinds of ways. Sometimes doing the same thing all the time kind of gets a little boring, so I try to mix it up a little bit. So now we got our 7 sheets, our mouths. Looks like a bunch of talking frog mouths here. I'm going to show you how we put them together after I mix them all up again, so they're not in any kind of specific order. So here you have one mouth, or whatever you want to call it. The open part is facing inward. When you put them together, you're going to go like this. So the top of this sheet is on the bottom of this sheet right here. And then vice versa. The bottom of this sheet is on the top of this sheet. And that's how you attach them all together. So when you pull them open, they're all attached. And it's cool too, because you can make them front and back. And like I said, use one of these, a glue runner. Do not use liquid glue. It just does not work very well, and it will clump up. You'll get bubbles, and then you'll get frustrated. And this is just easier. The only thing is you better make sure it's where it needs to be before you put this on. Because once it's kind of stuck, it's kind of stuck. So you want to be very, very careful. Make sure it's in there like that. And there's page 1 and page 2, front and back. And so when you close it, there you go. And that's how the accordion is actually made. I told you guys it was so easy. Simple, simple book. So when you put the next one on, you just do the same thing. You have the bottom of this one, and you just put the top of this one right there. And like I said, when you distress it, it actually looks really nice. Brings out all the creases. And you don't have to distress it. You can leave it how it is. And if you guys make this, tag me in it, because I love seeing you guys make your creation. That lets me know that my video worked and was correct. You know, if nobody makes any, I'm just like, oh God, what did I do wrong? Did I not specify it enough, or something like that? So there's page number 3. Yeah, it's 12 by 12 paper cut down to 6 by 6 because that helps save your paper. You don't want to waste paper, especially stamped area, because that's expensive. It can be very costly. Even the book I'm working on right now, I am trying to use every little piece of scrap that came with it, since it was a mega pad on there that had 22 sheets. So don't waste scraps. I don't want to jinx it, but there's only 3 more, and I usually almost never get them on there like that. So there's page 4. Yeah, 4. Okay, and then we're starting over our pattern again. So this is why I said you should fold it the other way, because this one we folded it where it's inward. This is the opposite way, like this. So then when you get here, now you have this page that's going to be on the other side. That's just a little weird thing that I have. I got to make it. I've done it so many times, and then I'll have the same page right next to the other one, and it drives me crazy. I kind of like them sporadic. Kind of just makes it look different. This one's a lot easier too to put together because they're squares. The heart one, it takes a little time to line it up, but once you get it and you've done it so many times, they're really easy. Alright, one more. Looks like I have a big caterpillar coming off my desk now. I've actually done one that was like 20 something pages of this. That was fun. That was a really hard book to put back together. So 7 just seems to be a lucky number. Okay, so we got it. There's page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then this is the fun part, is when you fold it all back together. Once you fold it back in, it will fold together a lot easier because you've kind of stretched it out. And then it makes a nice little square like this. And then there's the accordion part. It's like a journal book. My YouTube channel is, the button to it is in my profile page, but it's 4 Girls Stole My Heart, LLC. You can use them to journal in. And this is one that I did a long time ago. You can journal in the pages like this, and then you got another side to journal on like that. So it's just a different take on a journal book, like a junk journaling book, because I don't like to do normal, I guess is the way to say it. So I kind of like to think outside of the box. So that's why I made this and the other accordion books that I've done, because I like to do different. That's kind of my thing. So this is the accordion book. Now, I'm going to use a 50-point chipboard. The pages are 6 by 6. So when you make the cover for this, obviously you want to make it a tad bigger. So that way it will cover it and everything. And I may make it just a little bit bigger than I usually do, so that way I can put some metal corners on there without them touching the edges of the pages, because we want them to be able to open up, because this page is going to be attached to the cover. And if you open it up, this is where the corner is going to be, here, here, and then over here for the cover. And if the corner is on here, you won't be able to open it up. And my regular corners are usually 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, so we may make it 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. We'll just wing ding it, and let me put that in there and see how it works, because that's okay. We're going to take this chipboard, and for some reason people are always fascinated to see me cut chipboard straight. Watch, I'm going to cut it all crooked today for the first time ever. I don't know why, but I just have a knack for cutting chipboard. I just kind of, when I cut it, I don't push all the way through, and I just kind of make a little indent in the actual chipboard, so that way when I go through it again, you can push a little bit harder and it will go through. There's your tip for the day. And we need 2 pieces of chipboard. One for the front cover, one for the back. And I'm making them, I'm going to make them 3 1/2. I think that will work. And kind of bypass the metal corners. And the metal corners will make the book last a bit longer. I just started doing big journal books. I think the biggest journal book I probably have ever done is a 12 by 12. It wasn't great because I was just starting to make books, but with what I know now, yeah, I've done that. Of course, I started scrapbooking 20 years ago, so that was the first version of journaling collage was scrapbooking. I just did, for some reason that just did not look straight, but I guess so. I get it from Amazon. This is 50-point chipboard. I think I got a pack of 100 or 50. I don't know off the top of my head. It's lasted a while. I use it for all my books. I like chipboard the best. I've used cereal boxes and shipping boxes. I can't stand using shipping boxes because it has that little middle part that's spongy, and that drives me crazy. Because I usually am pretty rough when I'm putting journals together, and yeah, I like press down on it, and then it ends up getting all squishy, and I just found using chipboard works the best. Oh yeah, this is going to be fancy. We're going to be all rosied up. I like this background. They need to include this in the regular paper pad too. So all I do is you want to leave about 1 inch on each side, so that way you can fold it over. And then you can make a page liner to go over here, because since this one is bigger, our pages here are not going to cover this all up. They may. We'll try it and see, because I haven't made one that covered this size for this particular book yet. So this is brand new to me too. Not really, but you know, this version of it. If I made like an 8x8 one, it would take me just a minute just to configure it up a little bit, I think. That's my measuring technique. I just kind of eyeball it. And with this, so we're going to do it like that. Leave about 1 inch. Now, when I am putting the cover, the paper on the cover, I use the glue runner to put the chipboard to the paper, because this will be the flat side that's shown, and we want this to stay nice and smooth and flat. You don't want to put liquid glue. But when I put and fold these over, I do use liquid glue. It holds better, works better. Let's see what size this is. And it does. It holds a lot better than it should. So, I think this is going to come out gorgeous. Also, we're going to put a tie closure. I didn't put a tie closure on mine first time I made it. So, we're going to put a tie closure in there. So, that way, when you go like this, you can tie it close. So, if you have it this thick, at least you'll be able to tie it. Mine just kind of flops over. And before I put the little metal corners on, everybody said it looked like a s'more. And now that's all I see when I look at it. Looks like a s'more. So, that I was so proud of that. And then everyone's like, it looks like a s'more. And I'm like, thanks. Made me hungry. I guess you could make it into a s'more and make you a s'mores book. There you go. Just gave you your idea. You can use the dark brown pages for the inside. And then use like a cork for the outside like that. And it will look like a s'mores. Some white pages and brown pages. There you go. I just gave you an idea. So, I always fold my papers over like this. I've contemplated getting one of those little fancy corner things to cut the paper, but oh gosh, I like to do it quickly. And when you fold it over, it leaves little indentations of where you have to cut anyway. So I'm just like, ugh. And I always cover over everything. So I'm I like low maintenance stuff. Even though I'm probably really high maintenance. I am when I'm hungry anyway. Hence the username. But I'll tell you, my children have inherited that. Especially Ruby. If y'all know who Ruby is, she's my 2-year-old. And when that child is hungry, everybody better look out. And my husband says, you act just like your mother when you're hungry. So I said, yep. When us girls are hungry, we want to eat. big time. Okay, and then I just take it and go this. And this is the same way that I do the folding on all my other books. Like the book I just almost finished. The Imagine book. Oh, that's the other thing. A lot of people have been asking me about the paper pad on the other book that's on my post that said Imagine on it. That also will be in with my shipment that's hopefully going to be here tomorrow. The holiday kind of messed everything up. So I told somebody that was shipping their stuff out today, and I'm like, wait a minute, why isn't the post office open? And that's what happened. Martin Luther King's birthday. I'm awful at remembering holidays that we usually don't have off for homeschool. If you guys don't know, I'm also a homeschool mom, so yeah. I homeschool my kids during the day. This is the only time I use the glue, liquid glue on the books. That way it sticks really well. And this is Crafter's Pick Ultimate. This is what I use when binding books because it dries really well. And I think it holds really, really good. I think it holds better than Beacon's 3-in-1. I use Beacon's 3-in-1 for like paper inserts and stuff like that. Gluing actual paper. I have both of them here. And this probably also helps whenever I'm doing the liquid glue, is I always take the little thing that I have from my very first Cricut that I won't ever get rid of. And, which still works, by the way. It's in my daughter's room and she uses it. It's one that had the cartridges with it. And I was like, this is the only thing I want out of there. So, there's cover number 1. So, when we put this on here, let me see if I have to have a liner or not. And no liner necessary. It will actually cover everything. I can put one on there just to make it a little bit stronger, I guess. But I think doing it at 3.5 will make, let me find one of my little corner things here. We'll make the metal corners. Let's see, I got some rows. The metal corners right in there. Oh, let me fix that. See, it will actually just miss it. So if you don't have big metal corners, you could sit there and probably put on the corners first before putting this on, but you might get a little bump at those corners, but something like that may work. Like I said, I'll put a liner in there just for the heck of it. Alright, number 2. Let me move the caterpillar back over here. Ooh, the caterpillar. You can make a caterpillar book out of this. Make a round one and make it like a very hungry caterpillar. Sorry, had a moment. Had a spaz moment. These are icing bottles. I have these saved in my Amazon list, journal supply list, because I can't ever remember the brand of these. But these are icing bottles. And this is Crafter's Pick Ultimate. That's what's used in this one right here. And I just put it in there. It works okay in here, but it's manageable. It's much more manageable. And you don't have to have caps. They have been in here for over like a month and a half now. And the beacons, this is the Beacons 3-in-1, which is this one. And as you can see, it has a cap to it. This one doesn't have to have a cap, and it won't dry out in this. I have no idea why, because the hole's right there, but for some reason it doesn't dry out. It works perfectly every single time. So, I actually just did this earlier. If you, when I post this to YouTube, you can go back and watch it. And that way you can see the very beginning and you can pause it and do all that good stuff, which makes it easier. But all you do is you just fold it in half like that. And then you fold it in half this way. Then you flip the paper over, right? And then you fold it in half like that. Does that make sense? It's hard to show you while it's attached, but that's how you do the fold. So, all right. Thank you guys for the likes. Like, share, all that good stuff. Because I'd rather answer you guys' questions than have to share it myself. I'm so lazy when it comes to the TikTok live stuff. I like the crafting part. Or answering questions part. And then, of course, use the glue runner. You know, I just now noticed there's writing on here. But the great thing is, it's in a square. I just have to make sure that when we put it on, it will be okay. And like I said before, don't use liquid glue for the front of your books. You want it to stay nice and smooth and not bubble. Use this. It just has a better effect. And use liquid glue to do that part. That works a lot better. I had to experiment a lot with book binding and stuff. And I finally got into a groove of what works, what lasts. Especially since I'm so rough with books. I've dropped my book several times on the floor because I'll be holding it, trying to put something in it, and they seem to make it just fine. So I'm like, woohoo! Kind of freaks me out a little bit because I'm like, oh. And then Ruby comes in here sometimes and will touch it, and I'm like, just put the book down. Since my crafting area is in my bedroom. I have technically an area downstairs, but that is my homeschool room / craft room, but it's homeschool craft stuff, so I try not to go raid it because there's all kinds of science stuff down there and craft supplies, but then I have to replace them if my girls have art stuff or anything like that. So I just try to pretend like it's not there. Unless I desperately need something. Okay. Alright, so the next thing is we're just going to make a liner for the inside and front and back cover. And before we do that, I'm going to cut out the liner, and then we're going to get some ribbon to go in the back cover. I'm not going to forget. I usually always do when I'm making this book. So I'll try not to forget this time. So I think we'll do the other side of this page. And I'm going to say it's about maybe 3 1/4. And 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Let's see. Yep, that worked. You can never have too many layers of paper. It's just a little added protection. And for the ribbon, let's see what I do with my ribbon. Make sure I don't drop anything. I don't want to have to pick all that up. Okay. So, I'm thinking the lacy ribbon is probably... Is that one open? No. Do I have any open? Yeah, the lacy ribbon will probably work the best. That's why I have so much of it. So, yeah. Use this. You can get this at Dollar Tree. Just nice. I always wipe out the Dollar Tree over here. Well, we live by like 5 or 6 Dollar Trees. So, we're kind of in between them. So I'm always going and raiding their stuff. Alright. So I'm only going to put this ribbon only on the back cover. I'm going to make this one. Wait a minute, which way does it go? I don't want to put the writing upside down. Okay. We'll make that one the front cover. This one will be the back cover. And I don't have a specific measurement for this, but I do make it a little bit longer because if you fill up the book with any kind of extra stuff, it will kind of thicken it. And there's multiple ways you could do this. You can do it where you have one on the back cover, one on the front cover, and you could tie it together. But I found that doing one on the back cover and then it going over the front cover works the best for this, because the one on the front and back cover will make it do this because it's tied. And when you put it just on the back cover, it kind of gives it a hug like that. And you can just not add one if you don't want to. That works too. Okay, I'm just going to add a little bit. Now I'll add some liquid glue here because this is going to kind of be covered over a little bit by the sheet of the accordion. I'll put some extra on the ribbon. So then the book the book will go flying across the desk. The book will go in here like this, and then this will be attached, and then it will tie, close, just like that. And you can tie it as tight as you want, especially if you don't have anything in it or anything like that. Make sure this is straight. Okay, so when you are putting your book in, you just have to decide which way you want the book to be. This was the first page we did, so we'll probably leave that as the top, and this will be the bottom. So when we open the book, I always have it open this way, so your first square should be right down here. So that way you can put that in there. Again, I'll just use some, let me use the tape glue runner on there. And don't make the mistake I did and put it on the cover the first time. That was fun. It was always sticky around the edges. I ended up having to redo it. Okay. This one can be a bit tricky because you want to make sure it's even pretty much everywhere. The pages will kind of be a little bit off because they're tucked into each other. So they're going to bulge in certain places and certain places they won't. So there we go. There's number 1. Let me find... There you go. Alright, now this one we can just put on because we're not putting ribbon in it. And you can also, I've used metal corners for these books a lot, which can go on the cover, so you don't have to use the clamp down metal book corners for these if you're afraid they'll get in the way. Okay. Alright, gotta make sure the writing's the right way. Luckily I put that one there. Sorry if my head gets in the way. I gotta look and see what I'm doing here. You really just want to make it even with the other cover. Not so much the page, because the page may be off a little bit because of being tucked into another one. So, let's see. Is like that. And when you are, if you journal on these pages or anything, you can lay it flat like this while you're working on it. They will all fold back the way they're supposed to be. If you do have stuff on the other side, then you have to be a little bit ginger when you start putting stuff in it, because you might end up knocking something off on the other side of the page. And you don't want to do that. So that is a really easy accordion book that you can do. This one, again, is 6 by 6. The pages are 6 by 6. It ends up measuring out to 3.5 by 3.5 when it's closed. And I like the paper. Looks amazing. So then when you open it, and then we'll put some stuff on it. You'll have the accordion pages like that. and you can turn it over and you can do stuff on the other side, and it stretches out like almost 3 feet-ish, maybe like 2.5, 3 feet. So, and like I said, there's like different versions of this that I've done besides the heart one and the T one. So here you can put the metal corners on like this, or let me find those. Here we go. I have bronze corners, so you can put them like this. Oh my gosh, I just had an idea. Okay, we're going to decorate the cover because I have to now, or I'll forget what I was doing. So I'm going to put these corners on here. Let me see if I can. I'm going to clamp it down for a second. There we go. Makes it a little bit easier. And I'm going to put one in this bottom corner. You could put them on all of them, but I think it's a little bit overkill. Probably put one in this corner and the one in the opposite corner. The only thing about the 3-in-1 is you have to wait on it to get it to act together to come down there. You just give the crafter's pick a little shake and it comes right out. This one, I call this the attitude glue because that's what it gives all the time. Alright, I'm going to let those dry. While those are drying, I have, let's see, I have some little frames here. Maybe, so you can decorate it like this. And you can put, let me see what I got. It all kinds of. Or do, and that doesn't, it matches a little bit. Could also put like little dangle thing from the ribbon. All kinds of little things that you could do to decorate it. Make it look like a door. Put a doorknob on it if you wanted to. And I gotta find my things. Okay, I think this is my messy junk box that I kind of threw stuff in when I was reorganizing the Nightmare of Craft room. Nope, that's ribbon. Oh no, they're in here. Yes, ha ha ha. I knew I still had some of these flowers. These are like little paper flowers. I used them for a different book. And I was like, maybe I'll use them. I have some, but I like these better. These will work. I actually made, the last time I used the rose perfume paper, I made one of the big books for my grandmother. And I used these flowers on there. And I also have some of these that I swiped from my Etsy store. I swipe stuff out of there all the time. But these are like laser cutouts. So you can put, let's see, let me poke this up. Oh, there's a piece of tape on it. And these are like little wooden cutouts like this. I think I love this collection. I love all their ephemera stuff. And I think I actually have, okay, so hang on one second. I just went and I raided the closet where I have all of the products in there because I have upcoming books that I'm doing. And I may have to go raid some more stuff because I have rose perfume stuff. I have these little sticker die cuts. They're like this, and they're flat, and they have a sticker on it. And if you have ever seen the Stamperia paper pads, and they have all these little things, I don't like cutting that crap out. And I was so glad, like that, I ain't cutting any of that out. I hate that. So they have ephemera packs that are adhesive, and I made sure that they were put in my Etsy shop because I wanted them to. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't have to cut anything out because I hate cutting. I don't fussy cut. I hate that crap. And I know a lot of people like it, but after a while, I have carpal tunnel, and I think I'm getting arthritis because I play, like a musician. So, I play wind instruments, and all of that, yeah, it's starting to catch up with me. Big time. So, when I'm cutting stuff, my hands start going numb, and I'm just like, nope. So, can put something like this here. Let me get this unclipped now. So these are really handy for that. You can also keep these little frames, and you could put like resin or clay in them and just poke them out. I've done that a lot because I like to ghetto it. And also, that one may be it. Yeah, that was me. You can do something like this. You can do, oh, wait a minute. Like that. I want to do that. I really like the perfume bottles, and I think doing there like this, maybe something like that, and maybe some kind of flower or something, or that, or these kind of, let me see that. So I can do like little flowers up here. These are like, I swear I'm gonna I know how to make these. I don't know why. My husband went to Michaels or something. I don't go to Michaels very often because I'm kind of a Hobby Lobby girl. So, but he got those for me and was like, I thought you could use these. And so that's why I have them. All right. I'm going to go and run into my daughter's room because she has a humongous closet, and that's where I keep all the Stamperia stuff. And I'm going to go get the 2 ephemera packs that come with this. That way y'all can see them, because there's more stuff in here. And I think they have what I'm looking for. There's people in there too. So I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, I'm back. Let me catch my breath for a minute. Here we go. So this one is, this one's called Flowers and Garland. And this one, I forget what it's called. It's just, I think, the rose perfume. So this one has a lot of, like I said, it's flat. So, I think it will work better, maybe with the 3-dimensional stuff. All right, we'll find, I'm going to dump this out into a little thing here, lid to one of my boxes, because pieces will go everywhere. Okay, so there's all kinds. This one has lots of flowers. And see, they're flat, but it's a sticker. And they have frames. They also have people. So it's really, really pretty. I use this for my grandmother's book, and she absolutely loved it. So stuff like this. So you can put stuff like that on there instead of doing the 3D flowers. And then, and there's all kinds of frames. I just like this one all the way around. It works. And it can also be like intermingled or whatever with the other paper pads like Shabby Rose and House of Roses, stuff like that. And then this one, it says it's Flowers and Garland. This one's a completely, it's still the Rose Perfume collection, but it's another one they just came out with. They came out with this one when they came out with the paper collection, but this one is newer. So, well, that's interesting. I thought it was like weird looking at first, but okay, to each their own. So this, and again, these are also stickers. Aha, look. So if we do this, it will be nice and flat. And I think that will work. And these kind of flowers, I think the hot pink is a little bit too hot pink. For me, anyway. See, and it says memories. If that would actually go really well on a bigger book. New Dream. There's clock. More flat. Oh, the little perfume bottles are really cute. So let me put, I'm going to put the ones that are neato. There's another perfect. This is, I like them already cut out. I cannot stand cutting. Can also put these underneath flowers. Here's another perfume bottle. And it's just a bigger bottle. So let me put all the stuff that's like a maybe over here. I think I won't use any flowers in here. Or if we do, I'll put them on the back. Because remember, there is a back cover. Put a little frame back there or something. And I usually put the Four Girls Stole My Heart seal on the back of my books. So I can put that on there with some flowers. Let me see what this one is. Oh, that's a letter. Thought it was a bottle. And so there's a chest. So these are really neato. So you can use these. You can also use these to decorate journal pages. You don't have to be making a book either, which is what I like. You can use them for cards, all kinds of stuff. All right, let me move all this out of the way. Put that right there. Okay, so the wooden ones or the sticker ones should we use? Have kind of the sticker. This is what the sticker one looks like. And then the wooden one, they're kind of three-dimensional. Can put this one on here like that. You can also put them in front like this, or in the back like that. Yeah, oh, yeah. I like the wooden ones. I only have 2 of those. I think you go like this. And you could also put like dream like that. Put some of these, put that behind there like this, so that way our flowers can kind of, you know, just kind of, let me use this one. I can put the 2 pink ones. Something like that. This is always a fun part to me. And that way, how's that look? I don't want to put anything down yet. Okay. I got a perfect, so that means it's perfect. So we're gonna glue these ones down. These ones are not adhesive, obviously, because they're wood. Let me use this crafter's pick, because this works better on wood stuff. Definitely does. And then we'll start from the bottom, work our way up. We'll start with the leaves, and we'll sticker them on there like that. I also have a mold for this collection, and you can make like little clay pieces out of it, and those also can go onto the covers of books, or if you have like a mixed media project that you're doing, you can put those on there. God, I hate stickers. Usually I can get them if I just, yeah, mess. There we go. I just was impatient. Okay, I'm gonna kind of put this, I'm gonna put this like this. See, that's so nice. I love the stickers. I could also put this one over here where it kind of, that way you could see it more, and then the thing will go across that. Or I could put just a little leaf like under the stuff like that. I may do that instead. That looks like a workout. Let me put this on first. Yeah, I hate using tweezers or anything like that to get stickers off. I know eventually I'll get it. And then this looks good like that. I'll go across there. I have glue stuck to my fingers. It drives me crazy. Alright, and then flowers. Let's put the white one up top. And these are just like little paper flowers that my husband, I think, got from Michaels. I'll put that like right there. And then I'll stick this little leaf under this one. Hey. The leaves are right there. I'm trying to get the other one off. We'll put the other leaves on the back too. I also have some viney, don't move, don't move, don't move. Viney ribbon that actually probably would have went better, but I didn't know it was going this route. Sometimes I don't know until I've already done it. Okay, so that needs to dry because I don't want to move it around. Oh God. So while that's drying, I'll put the little label thing on the back. I don't usually put like a little frame thing around it, but let's see. Oh, here are, I'll show you guys while that's drying, the perfume collection frames. They come with these frames. These are molds, and you can use soft resin in them. You could use clay in them, bake them. You can paint them afterward, but they're really neat looking. But this one is the perfume bottle one. So you can make these perfume bottles yourself and then put them on books, or if you have like a, like I said, a mixed media project or something, like what I did to my shelf up there, the winter shelf, if you guys know what I'm talking about, where I kind of made it look like winter on a shelf. Those are the, that's what those are used for, because they do a lot of mixed media stuff. So they have a lot of products specifically for that, like paint, clay, resin, all that good stuff. They don't just make paper and ephemera pads. So they do make other goodies, which I love. And I've got to find my stamper. Oh, I have to find it later. Alright, let me check this. See how we're doing here. Oh, good, we're stuck. That's why I like Crafter's Pick. Every time I've used Beacons, this stuff still moves around a little bit, and I don't like it. Use Crafter's Pick, it ain't going nowhere. See, it's stuck. We're good. These little frames, though, are so cute. So, here on, I'm going to flip this over. Let me go ahead and tie it. And the great thing about the tie is in the inside, so you still have the whole back cover is completely flat. And I'm only going to put flat stickers on here. So I could put these perfume bottles. Here, let me put these in here. Can put the flowers. It kind of already has flowers on there, but we could put like the smaller ones, like just a small one, like maybe like that up in the corner. Oh, where we have rosebuds. I forgot about that. Some rosebuds, white flowers. Me sitting there thinking I could get a whole frame on there. Let's see. There we go. And I got some more leaves. I got tons of leaves. So here's some rosebuds. I'm just setting them on there. I'm not putting them in a specific place yet. Got yellow ones. There's not really that much yellow in it, but got a little bit. So you can layer those and then probably put some, oh, there's a bird. Put a bird on there. So yeah, that works really great. I love those things. I love them. As long as I don't spill them all over the floor. Okay, so I think I'm going to put one of these, probably this perfume bottle, because I really like this and I want to use it. And it's flat and nice. I have a bottle that's similar like this in my bathroom. I use it to water my plants in there. Okay, and then we can put these little leafy things on here. Just kind of collage it out. To me, this is the part that takes the longest. Making the book is easy. It's decorating it and doing all the other stuff. Because then I end up thinking about other stuff. And I'm like, ooh, I could do this. Ooh, I could do that. I'll put this up here. Kind of have the roses attached to it and hanging down. These are probably the easiest stickers I've ever peeled, though. I have so much trouble with stickers. So, there. Can shove a little rosebud under one of them. Well, yeah, I'm trying to think. I've sold a ton of these already. I've sold some that, yeah, without any of this on here. I have sold some without. But it will be like the Stamperia paper. Like maybe, a face or a rose or something like that. A picture that's actually printed on the paper that I use. But yes, I have sold them like that before. I'm just going to set that right there. I don't want to do too much to that because I'm going to put my little label, which is probably about that big right there. As soon as I find what I did with that in this mess hole. I usually have it up here with my stamps. And it probably is in here and I just can't see it. Yep, it is. That's funny. I just completely overlooked it. What I usually do is I usually get a... I could probably use this. This will work good. And break everything in the process. thank you guys for the likes. I appreciate it so much. I always forget to sit there and say, hey, thank you, because I'm just kind of in my own little world. Like Alice in Wonderland, you know, in a world of my own. Yeah, that's me. I'm very, very absent-minded. Okay, so I am going to make this pink. I don't, so you can't really see it. Oh, wait a minute. You can kind of see it. It's layered. So, let me get out this ink. Hopefully, if you hear a crash, just ignore it. That's, my stuff is always, probably the picked raspberry will probably be the best. Because, yeah. Because I don't want to use, like, the seedless preserves. I was using that for a different book. Maybe the, let me see how, yeah, maybe, that's a maybe. This one's a maybe. This one is too neon pink. Way too neon pink. This one, maybe, it would probably be a good color. Let me get my, I'll grab a couple of these. We'll try this out. Alright. I may just use these though. This might be a little bit easier to test on. I'm going to test it on this paper first. Okay, that one's Tattered Rose. I told you, I'm just like weird about this kind of stuff. I just don't want it to look, yeah, you know. I'd like to matchy-matchy. It's not. That one is probably Sponge Sugar. Okay, I'm thinking Sponge Sugar will be the best because it's like the pink that we need for that. Now we're going to watch the magic happen. Everything's going to start coming into place. And if you do sell your books, I highly recommend you getting this embosser. You can get it customized. They're really nice with, you know, if you have like an Etsy store or whatever website, you can put this on there. And because you never know when somebody may get one of your books as a gift, and they want to know where it came from and stuff. That just seems, I thought it was going to be darker than that. It's going to make me use this picked raspberry one. I knew it. I think I did try this out before, and I think either this one or the flamingo one, I'm just going to do a tiny bit, was the one that let it show up the best. They need one that's like not so slap you in the face pink, like a blush pink. Just tap it just a little bit. So, there you go. I don't know if you can. There you go, you guys. Now my phone just wants to be stupid. Come on. There. So, that's what I put on my books. And cut that out now. I can put it right down there. What I usually do is I usually just kind of rip them. just so I don't have to worry about it. And you can get the embosser on Amazon. I think I paid $19.99 for it, which isn't bad considering it's a customized thing. And you can get them for other things too. You don't have to get them to say your business name. You could say like handmade by so-and-so. Something like that. If you don't like sell your books, or even if you do and you sell them in person as opposed to like online or something. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay. Sorry if I'm shaking the table. Alright, I think it looks pretty darn good. And it was super easy to make. Not too bad at all. I'm gonna put that there. I want to cover up the rows. Put some leaves instead. Thank you guys for the likes and the follows. And if there's any gifts, thank you. I can't see it because the way I have 3 phone holders in here. And I like this one the best. I have one that broke. And I have one that I use for journal scoops. But the way that I have to put this on here, or I'm going to be looking this way, is it has to cover up, it covers up part of the screen, so I can't see everything that's going on. I can see what was just said. So, I made a mess, of course, after I just cleaned up, so that way it didn't look like I make messes, but gosh, yeah, I do. So, there we go. So here is the accordion book. Everything is nice and dry on the front. It says dream. And then open it up. And there you go. You can also just do this with one and make a greeting card with that. A lot of the techniques and stuff that I use for journal inserts, they're greeting card type stuff that I had learned a long time ago when I would do, when I cared enough to send out greeting cards. So here's the back, and then you can stretch it on out. It's probably about 2.5 feet, I think, and you can make them as long as you want. Just know that when it all comes back together, it's got to, you know, come back together. So then you can sit there and you can tie it to keep it closed. And you also, if you fill it up like mine here, and you fill it up, see how thick mine is because I'm almost done filling up. These are what the pages look like in the back. So I have like a few more to do. And when you fill it up, of course it's gonna get thicker, so this helps to keep these a little bit longer. So if it gets even that thick, at least you have room and you can tie it. And that is how you make the one of many accordion books that I make myself. I haven't made these in a long time because I've been trying to come up with new techniques and stuff for bookbinding. And I'm always interested in that. So, that's how we make the accordion book. I hope you guys like it. And like I said, I have other books that are now buried. I have my heart accordion book that I made this design in middle school over 20 years ago out of a 4-leaf clover, and my grandmother saved it all these years later and wrote my name and the date on it. She always did that. And when she passed away, I found it in a box, made it, when I made it and everything, of all kinds of other stuff that I made in there. But this is the original design of these that I made so long ago. It was one of the first books, I guess, I've ever made, is this one. And I like movable elements in my books. That's just my thing. This book is under maintenance right now because Miss Ruby decided to come in here and wanted to look in it and got in my box where all these books are, and she tore up my last page with the continuous rotation pop-up, which took me a long time to do. To say a long time, because the original one that I had done was for a big thing, and I had to shrink it down so it could fit in here. So she decided to rip Alice out of it, and I was pretty heated. Alice was up here, and when you moved it, she continuously rotated without, she rotated 360, and by doing the pop-up thing. So, yeah. So that one's under maintenance. This page is under maintenance right now. And then I gotta hide it from her because she likes messing with my books. So I have them all put up at the moment. And this one was, that one's the T one and everything. But this is another accordion book. The only difference is it's heart-shaped instead of a square. And then the other accordion book, I've actually made a few other ones, but the T accordion book, I had the string to it it's right here. This one I actually designed last year and made it. I also do a lot of origami, so that's why I know how to do a lot of the folds and stuff. And I made this one so it would have pockets and all that stuff. And it's basically like a little tea bag because it has like the little tag right here. When it's tied together, it hangs. And now another way that you can make this, and I'll show you, is if you have this is a 6-inch doily punch. And since our papers just happen to be 6 inches, the ones that we cut earlier, I could show you how to make these real quick. The same folding technique that you use for this one, except they won't be squares. They will be circle doilies. So I did this one day, and I probably saved on one of my videos. I swear I need playlist. And TikTok is stingy about who they give playlists. I think it's because I use an Android device and not an Apple device. Maybe. I don't know. They always say, oh, you have to have so many followers. No, that's not true. I've seen somebody with 300 followers and they had playlists. So, it's annoying. Because it would be nice to organize all this stuff so people can find it easy. mostly for you guys. So, this punch I have saved on my journal supply list. I have something stuck to the bottom of this. What else is new? I have it saved on my journals list in Amazon. And I think my husband bought me this one. Because he goes to my Amazon wish list. And that's how he shops for me. And he knows what I want. And you have to... A lot of people will give up on this punch because they don't know how to use it. It's not that hard. Your paper has to be 6 inches by 6 inches. That's a start. And all you do is you put the corner in. And then you rotate it. Just like this. And then when you get the 4 corners, the first 4 corners done, you have to flip it over. And then you put it in like this. And a lot of people don't know that. See? Let me make sure. And you got to make sure you take that paper out. Because that paper that's on the edge right there, it's going to come off. I know I'm probably wiggling the camera, sorry. And there you go. You have a doily. And that it's super easy to do. You just have to know to flip it over. And like I said, this is saved in my Amazon journal supply list. Everything that I've used, if I got it off of Amazon, and even if I didn't, I'd go ahead and put it in there because I like to keep everything in one location because I can't remember the brands and stuff of all this stuff that I use. So I keep it in there to help people you know how to, or know what I use and everything like that. And when I post this video to YouTube, in the description, when I post it tomorrow, because it takes a lot of hours to process here on TikTok and then like another hour to upload to YouTube. So when I go to process the video, I'll put in the description everything that I used, so that way you can go find it if you want it, everything, or to add it to your own wish list. It takes me a little bit of time, but luckily I'm sitting downstairs homeschooling my 3 kids now, because one graduated high school a few weeks ago in December and is starting college tomorrow at age 16, and I swear to God, she's so freaking helpless. I thought I taught her better than that, but nope. That's what happened. So, but those of you that don't know, I have a 16-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a lovely 2-year-old. And I homeschool the 2-year-old when she feels like it, because I don't believe in forcing kids that are that young until they're ready. But she's pretty smart on her own. She already knows her ABCs. She knows how to count forwards and backwards. She thinks she knows it all already. She knows her shapes, colors, all that good stuff. So while I'm down there homeschooling, and in between while I'm waiting on children to get their stuff done, that's when I sit there and update everything and get it all together for you guys. So, and I do update my YouTube channel like daily. I always try to make sure that I do. And every kind of tutorial that I have is in the tutorial playlist. So what I do, you can make this into an accordion book also. Just because it's round, don't be scared. It's still the same concept. So you're going to take this. I'll show you on these 2 pages. But you take this. You're going to fold it in half and try to line up your little design there. That kind of helps. If you can't, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, some of it's going to be covered up anyway with the other page. You just fold it in half. Then you're going to fold it in half this way. And then what you're going to do is flip it over, you know, with the folds down. And you're going to, you have your X here, and you're just going to fold it in half this way. So you'll have 2 parts will not be folded at all. Won't have a fold through them. And then when you go like this is how you know you did it right. Watch, it will pop. See how it popped right up? These 2 are the sides of your pages right there. So you can do this with any symmetrical shape, I will say. And you can also do it with circles. If you want to cut out 6-inch circles, or smaller, you can do that. And it all works pretty much the same. I got bored one day and wanted to try it and see. I actually wanted an excuse to try out my new punch. And I was like, oh, that actually works pretty good. And I ended up making a book out of it. And I was like, I'll put it on I actually made a video of me making, or showing how the punch works. And then I put the book up on my Etsy store, and it was gone in like 5 minutes. It was a cute book, though. And I do 7 pages in these books. If you do an even number, your front and back cover will not be aligned right. Just to let you know. You have to do an odd number of pages. So now to attach them, this one is a bit trickier because of the design right here, but it's the same concept. They're going to actually make a square when you connect them together this way. And it just looks different. It's something pretty. And you can make, like I said, you can, if you don't have to make a book, you can always make it into a card. This one I'm going to use liquid glue on because I don't want the glue runner to go in the holes. Because that would not be good. So I'm going to use the Speakins one on this. And I'm going to try to keep it in there. This is the only tough part, is trying not to get the glue out. And if you do, it's not a big deal. Just make sure you don't put anything up against it, or you're going to have a lot more stuck to it. So they face each other, the open parts, and the bottom of this one's going to the top of this one. And you can also put a little liner over that, and that's one thing that I usually do, is I'll put like a piece of the liner over there, so that way you can cover up the holes right here, and you can just put a square piece of paper. You can also glue it right here and make a pocket. So there's lots of ways that I've done this before, and so when you attach it like that, and then you have a bunch of them, so it's like a bunch of doilies all connected instead of squares. And like I said, you can do circles. You can also put the glue just there and make each one a pocket, like I said, and that's how you make the doily one. And then you can cover this over with a square, and the only thing that will be doilies parts is just the flaps on the side. So there's a lot of variations that you can actually do with this particular fold. And that's why I like it, because it's, you can, if you play around with it, you may find something that I haven't even thought of, you know, but sometimes just sitting around folding paper works really well. So that's how you do it with the doily. And like I said, I have this saved on my journal supplies list. They actually have multiple ones of these. And, oh, as a card, what I would probably do, I wouldn't use this as a card particularly. I would, unless I was going to make it bigger, but you have to, the maximum size you could do with this is 6 inches. Now, the accordion one, if I was going to do it with a card, I would probably, hang on, let me get, I would probably use like an 8-inch pad of paper. Hang on, let me move all this. Let me clean up my mess a little bit, so that way I have some room to breathe. Now I gotta figure out what I did with all those. Oh, there they are. I spend like the next hour just cleaning everything back up. I probably won't tonight because I'm really wanting to finish the book. This is 8x8 pad. And here, I'll use this. This would be perfect for a card. So if you wanted to make like an accordion card or something with it, one thing you could do, it's the same folding technique. Let me find one that's more, this is such pretty paper, isn't it pretty? This is Provence. I think I'm out of this one. I stocked this stuff, and I'll have like 6 to 10 pads in there, and then by the end of the week, they're gone. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go again. And then I have to go and get another order. Here, I'll use that for something else. So you kind of want to use something that is like a pattern like this. Because then if it will be like, imagine like a journal page, and you're putting a sheet of like very plain, kind of just minimalistic pattern in the background, because people pretty much aren't going to pay attention to this. You want them to pay attention to whatever you put on there. So if you wanted to make like a card out of this, you just do it the same way. You just fold it once. There's not multiple pages. That's the only, yeah, I'll show it to you in a second. There's not multiple pages in it. It's just going to be a single card. And the same with the heart. I've actually done the tea accordion book. I made a card out of that and sent it to my grandmother for her birthday. And the only thing I did was I just made one sheet. And that was it. Instead of making a whole book. Mostly because I was kind of pressed for time. And I wanted to send her something instead of sending nothing. So, but yeah, you can do this with anything. I think this is the first time too I've made one this big. I could have made one out of a 12 by 12. Ooh, that would have been huge. Imagine, it would be like a fan when it opened. So, there is the pop. Okay. So what you can do, oh, I just thought of something too. I'm always thinking like 100 steps ahead. I'm sorry, I have ADD. This is my process. So, that's probably why I drink liquid so much. Because I'm just always thinking. So you could do this right here. This could be the inside of your card. You can decorate it, write little messages, whatever you want. Then what you could do is you can also make, where did it do? Oh, there it is. Make an envelope to stick this in. And then when they pull it out, they open it, boom. You can attach a braid or something here, or a, like something that unhinges. My mind just went blank. Like a, something easy, you know, that they can get off. You can always put a paper clip on it. Not that big of a deal. Let me see what I got here. I have these humongous paper clips. I really didn't know they were that big, but finally used one. You could do something like that, or some kind of clip. Put it in the envelope, you know, decorate it, make it all fancy and stuff like that. And then they can take off the clip, or you can also attach like a ribbon on the end here so they know, you know, and put pull me so they get off. And then just open it up like this and make a card out of it. It's really easy. You can also, you don't have to make the corners, I'm looking for my punch. You don't have to make the corners pointed. You can cut them down using a corner and notch punch that you use for, what are those things called? Envelopes and everything. This actually came with my scoring board, but I will say it is not easy to use because the instructions are written, like, they might as well be written in hieroglyphics because it's just that complicated. So you could sit here, cut these down, and so they're not all pointed like that. I hope you guys know I'm winging this right now. I've never even done this right here. But there, you can do it like that. And keep this one, you don't want to cut that one. That one, because then you'll have holes right in the middle. And then you can open it up. Like I said, you could decorate each page, make it a card and everything. And then you can clip it with, if it's somebody who can't open stuff very well, I would probably, you know, just use this. If it's somebody who can, I would use like one of these kind of little vintagey braids right here. Like if their name was Carol, okay, you could put like a little C down here like this. It's like a little braid, you know, a paper braid. Put it in there, they can take it out, and then they can open it. And then that's how you can make a card out of it. And then you just make an envelope to go with it. And at least it would be something like unique and stuff. I know, I can't either. I've been diagnosed with ADHD like since age 8 or 9. So I'm like my husband says I'm like a roller coaster ride. There's all these turns and everything, but eventually I get back to the starting point. You know. Oh yeah, envelopes are easy. Let me tell you something. With the right tools, you can make anything. I don't even know the last time I bought an envelope. Hang on, what did I do with my scoring board? Let's see. The scoring, if you have a scoring board, like one of these, on the back, you'll notice this little line. Sometimes they won't have this. They have these lines. This is for making envelopes. They're like on the back of all scoring boards. I mean, and if, like, when I first started, I had this gray scoring board. Let me find it. It's over here in my other work table. And it had a bunch of stuff on the back, and I never really paid attention to it. And then, out of nowhere, I saw somebody using it for something, and they said, this is for blah, blah, blah on the back. And I'm like, what? So, but they all scoring boards have like these doohickeys on the back. I didn't know. And like I said, with these, it will tell you on here, let's see, our paper size is 4x4. I should have known that. See, duh. Okay, so if your card size is, let's say, 4x4, we probably would want to use a square one, which would be easy to do. The only thing with the square one is when whatever your size paper is, like this is an 8x8. So you have to put it at the 4-inch mark over here to start with. You don't put it at the 4-inch mark every time you turn it. It only goes to the 4-inch mark on the first time that you use the scoring line. If you put it at the 4-inch mark every time, it's going to become a square envelope, just to let you know. If you want it to be a normal rectangle envelope, put it at the 4-inch mark the first time, you score it, then you line up your score mark you just made at the 4-inch mark with the score guide line, and then that's what you do for the next 3. And then when you're done, you have a rectangle envelope. And that's how they're made. This thing, when I got it, didn't have any instructions with it. But I knew how to use one. And a lot of people left them a bad review because they said, I have no idea how to use it. And it doesn't say here how to do it. It just says repeat step 3 on the whole thing. And it's kind of like, what? You know? Yeah, I can make one. Let's see, I can make it whatever side you want facing up. Like if you want this side facing up, you put it this way. So this is an 8x8. So, and hold on a second, because I promised somebody I would show them the finished book because they went away. And if I don't do it now, I'll forget. So I don't know if that person is still here. If they are, say hey. But this is the book I just made, the accordion book. So what the front and back looks like. This is chipboard here. And then when you open it, it poofs out to that. You have to use, I use 7 pages on this, but you have to use an odd number, or your 2 covers here are going to be on opposite sides. It's going to be like this when you do it. And that would drive me crazy. So don't do that, please. Use the odd number of pages. I don't care if it's 3 or, 1. Just don't use even number pages. And so I hope that person saw it, whoever it was. But yes, I will make an envelope. They're really, really super easy. This, like I said, the scoring board comes with this and the I can't even remember what these things are called. The bone smoother thingamabobber. I call it a doohickey. So you just line it up with, since this is 8x8, you line it up at the 4-inch mark. And you just score it like that. And then you have the score line here. If you want a rectangle envelope, you line it up with the score guideline here. So that way your next line will make it a rectangle. Yeah, boning knife, thank you. It's like pot holder. That's my PSA. I have moments where I can't remember the word pot holder. It drives me crazy. And I literally go blank. And I swear it's the start of dementia or something. So that's my first initial onset was not remembering pot holder. So you just keep rotating it and lining it up with the score guideline. And you do the end, and then when you're done with that, you gotta notch it. So you have 1, 2, 3, you see all 4 lines. This one actually is like a square. Anyway, so that works. So then you use the notch side with the two little flaps right here to notch the corners. This is where the score lines intersect. These are the corners of the envelope. So you're going to line it up, the lines, the score lines, with those two little flaps right there. And then you just do that to every single corner where the two lines intersect. Like that. And then you're going to flip it on, or you're going to put it on the other side of the punch, the corner punch, and that's where all the points go. And it rounds all the corners, all the pointy parts. Like that. And then we can make it the envelope. Let's see. We make it like this, I guess. You just fold it over where you scored it at with your boning knife. That's okay, I'll forget. I'll forget the next time anyway. Like that. And you take your glue. If I move, I always end up doing that and stuff. Sorry. I'm not used to working with my stuff so far away. And then you just take the glue, do that, and you sort of have an envelope that's a little bit crooked with your picture, but that's okay. And I guarantee you, yep. See, and that's big enough to fit that in there. And if you put anything extra on it, there you go. So, envelopes are really easy. Now, if you use a smaller one, it doesn't come out like a square. This is just for the 8x8. What was it? 8x8 size. They actually have one for an 8x8 at the 4-inch mark. That's for a square card. And then they have the 8x8 for the rectangle one. So it's really easy. It's not hard at all. So there you go. And then there's your card that you can make. And so there's the accordion book. Now I forget what I was going to say now. So the Imagine book that I'm working on should be done tonight, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I have like a lot more inserts that I'm trying to get done for that one, because I'm trying to use up as much paper as possible, but it's starting to get a little bit bad. So, no, yay, hey. Yeah, and I'm finished now. Right in time. See, we made this book today. It's an accordion book. And so I should be done with the Imagine book. I haven't decided if I'm going to put it in my Etsy store or not, because I've kind of gotten emotionally attached to it. So I'll have to see what I want to do about that and everything. This one, though, I'll put in my Etsy store. You know, oh, it's okay. Trust me, I could talk to a light post, okay? I could sit on here and talk for like hours. I would get a little dry mouth and probably go tell my husband I want a crumble cookie or something like that. But, yeah, I could yicky yak forever. That was my #1 complaint from high school. Is, hey, Gracie, I haven't seen or talked to you in so long. You need to text me. We need to come up with another collaboration. Like for something. The Halloween one was so fun. Anywho, So, and I could show you guys the Imagine book. It's over, don't tell my husband I said this, but it's over yonder. So, hang on, I'll go get it. Oh. Alright. I'm hoping to have this bad boy done tonight. And like I said, I'm kind of emotionally attached to it at the moment. So I may have to wait a couple of days to post it on Etsy. If you follow my YouTube channel, I always post my lives, especially when I'm making stuff, with on YouTube the next day. And I'll have in the description everything that I use. The glue, supplies. It just makes it easier. But with the directions, and that way you can watch it anytime you want to. Pause it. You know, all that good stuff. Because I feel like it's so much easier to do that. Like, I mean, my first live, where we made this book on the first live. Gosh, seems like it was so long ago. But I showed this whole entire book, the whole binding process is on my YouTube channel. It's like a 3-hour video, but only because I'm answering questions and stuff like that. It doesn't take me 3 hours to put a whole book together. It takes me maybe 30 minutes to an hour. I know. My YouTube is 4 Girls Stole My Heart LLC. There's a button right under my profile picture, and if you click on that button, it's the YouTube button, or it's in the link tree link. It says 4 Girls Stole My Heart LLC. I don't know why I pick such long names for stuff. I was on okay, let me tell you, if I have a problem if I'm on TikTok and I see a guy with no shirt on it and he's got like a Thor body, I stop and I look. I know it's terrible, okay? Yes, my husband is chubby, okay? So I don't get to see all that magic on a daily basis. And he said today that I said something. I'm not even going to say the type of gift that I sent him, but let's just say it kind of resembled a male part. And he said thank you, and he's like, the Hangry Mama of 4 Girls. Jesus, that name is long. And I was like, sorry. So I know I'm bad. But anyways, this is the Imagine book. This book I put together on live a couple, like 2 weeks ago, I think it was, 2 Mondays ago. And I showed the whole process of how to bind it and everything. And see, it's getting a little chubby, but that's okay. I'm also going to put a ribbon around it because I got some chiffon ribbon that it's brown and it will match really well. And I made the cover. That's the embellishments I'm working on now. And the resin charms. This one I actually made myself. The one that's over here on the spine I didn't make. But I've always wanted to. So this is the book that I'm hoping to finish tonight. And I like doing these kind of inserts and stuff like that because I like to give people lots of options for when they are decorating the book themselves. So that way they can, add pictures, write in it. This one's kind of more of a writing journal because all the pages in here are all lined. And I tried not to put too much. I didn't put really anything on the line pages so people can write in it. And, oh, thank you. And that way, oh, are you talking about the binding video? Oh gosh, you know how nervous I was? I am always so spastic because I'm so afraid of something going terribly wrong on there. And when that video was over, my husband was like, "Are you okay? Your face is all red." And I was like, "Oh my God, that was so stressful. I was so afraid something was going to go wrong." Luckily it didn't. So yeah, but I will definitely make a, another one of those, because I like to make these types of books because I do not like cutting pages, and I like just folding them, and this is why I make it this size. I don't like doing extra work if I don't have to. Oh yeah, I was trying to remember. I've made like 20 extra inserts for this book. I've been working on it every single night. And some of them I've showed on TikTok and whatnot. And then I ended up making like 15 or 20 that I didn't show because I was watching a documentary on Netflix and I didn't want to stop it to make a video. So, yeah, sorry. That documentary was pretty good though. It was called The Hatchet-Wielding Hitchhiker. And I was like, what the heck? I gotta watch this. So, and like this one right here, I made last night. And I stuck that in there. And this is just one of those cards that comes in the paper packs. And it's like this size. And I have, like I said, a bunch of places to write in. And even put a little bit of washi tape in there. So, there's going to be a lot of inserts for whoever may get this journal, if I can part with it. I have so many journal books here at the house that I really don't need to keep another one. So, that's why I make them. And then, oh yeah, I made all of these. Someone was asking me, and I don't think it was on here. I think it may have been on Facebook about what to do with these round cards that come in the paper packs or wherever. I use them for all kinds of stuff. You can use them for a flap like that. You can also use them for, you could just leave them and put a ribbon on it, for other stuff. But this is just extra paper that I have with the packs, and I just put little, tabs on it so you can pull them out. Let's see. Oh, here we go. So you can use them like this. You can make a little book out of them. Gosh, you could even put like a paper braid to where it attaches like here at the top, and then you turn it like this. I know it seems like the circles are not that useful, but you know, you can make a mark. You can also, okay, make an envelope out of this. And the way you take 4 circles. If there's circles like this in one of the Stamperia paper pads, it usually comes with 9 circles. If you take 4 of those circles, you can overlap them and put them together and fold them down, and they make an actual envelope that's in a square shape. So there's lots of things that you can actually do with circles. Don't let the shape mess you up. Just, you know, roll with it. You can also turn them into journal pages, because nobody said you can't make a circle book. You can make a circle book. You just have to have a little bit of imagination. And when you have circles, all you got to do is just add like a little tab like I did on that card, and you can make circles into journal pages like that. So just because it's a circle shape doesn't mean it's not usable at all. You can do pretty much anything with them. And then you can add a little mini waterfall card to it. I have not messed with this in so long that I was like, is it even still going to move? Yeah, there it goes. See, it just needed some workup. So you can do all kinds of stuff. I like doing mini stuff, by the way. And yes, this is a wearable. It fits my wrist. I had to make all this to go on there. So it's a wearable. I wanted to make a wearable journal book. So that's why it's like, I like making odd shaped books. So circles, it doesn't matter what shape it's in, you can make a book out of anything. I did a video on these. A lot of people were asking me about the fabric. I got it from the Dollar Tree. I had these rolls. They came in like the rolls over where the floral stuff is. And I said, oh, I can use that for something. And that's what I used it for, was to make hearts. Yeah, it's sometimes it's a curse though, because my mind is always racing and going, and I lose sleep because my mind will not shut down, because I will start like thinking of, what can I do with this? What can I do with that? This thing right here is actually a punch. Where'd it go? Ah, there it is. I think I got this for Christmas. It's just one of these punches, and that's what I made the end with. I didn't have one of these, so I ended up getting one. And it works just like a tag punch, whatever that, I think that one is We Are Memory Keepers, which I'm still ticked off at them because they need to buy or replace my crocodile too. So, these little strips right here are just the bookmarkers that came in the set too. Will I be this book? Will I be selling this book? I told you I have separation anxiety at the moment with this book. This book, I haven't gotten personal with it. So yes, I will be probably adding this after I take pictures of it after this live and stuff. I may add this tonight. And this book, I'm not finished with it yet. I have to make a few more little inserts because I still have some paper over here that I want to use in some of the tags and stuff. So I'm going to add those in here. Like right here, I have a tag that I'm working on right here. And so I'm trying to finish it up. And everything, and then I have some leaves here. So once I finish it up and I say my goodbyes to it, yes, I will post it to my Etsy store. Yeah, I will. Because I've already teased you guys with it, so I feel bad if like everyone was like, oh my gosh, you're not selling that book. That's why I always end up selling my books, is because people make me feel bad about not selling them. So, but that's all I'm doing is I'm finishing up. So it will have an obscene amount of inserts and everything to add to it, and big ginormous paper clips that I really at the time did not think they were that big, but now that I found something to do with them, I'm kind of excited about them. I could do a lot of things with this bad boy. And they're really flexible. They're not like, really hard to move, which is surprising. So this is some of the stuff I've added to this, making pockets and stuff. And usually while I'm making this stuff, I end up thinking of something else, to make. And then I've made some of the pockets on the Stamperia pages. So This is another little writing card. And then they had this right here. And it was obvious that it was a book. So I made it into a book too. And put little paper in here and everything. There, and I think that was all I showed. I took the little dangles off. There was a bunch of charms on here because they were getting in my way, but they're in a box over here, so I wouldn't lose them. So I have little stuff in here, like I have a sewing machine because there's a lot of fashion stuff in there. Mask. I found some scissors and a key, so I have them set to the side so I don't lose them. And oh, and then here's the bookmarker. I always make a bookmarker to go with these books because I always make the middle pages the pocket pages, so that way you can't see the signatures. And then there's all kinds of cards and stuff, and this is another thing you can do with envelopes is you can attach them inside the pockets right here, and it makes like a little fold out pocket and everything. And if I put anything on these brown pages, I just put something small like that so it didn't take up any writing room. And this is a tiny envelope that I'll figure out something to put in there. This is where I stopped last night, so I like little fold outs. And now this one I made last night, which I like because it's like a little window. And I found some vintage sticker chicks and stuff, and I made it into that. And of course, you recognize these. That's what the same thing I used on that book and everything. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff that I was working on last night, so I could get it done and everything. I couldn't really mess with this one last night because it was all wet. So I'm going to do a little bit more just to make it easier for stuff to go in. And there's also another little book in here, which I made this on the live and then put the little thing in there. And I've also put the eyelets in the tags. And let's see, what else did I do? I made some more of these. I also have this strip of this flower paper. It actually has like plants and stuff. It's textured. So I was adding some of that kind of stuff into here because I wanted to add some extra papers and stuff for people to do things with. And oh, I made this last night too. See, when I watch documentaries, I'm like in the zone and I can work and don't get distracted and drop things. And I could get a whole bunch done. But if I stop and make videos, then I end up not. And more cards. And I said I was going to pack this full. And then there's a card in here that has a thing in it, and it also had the little window in that envelope. And this is, here's an example of the braids, the paper braids I use. You can turn them this way, and you can write stuff on the back. Then I have this little pocket here. I added this in. This is actually made out of some of that paper. It's a little envelope. And then another tag here. So it's getting there. I'm pretty sure, hopefully I'll be done with it no later than tomorrow. And then I will probably add it onto my Etsy store. Then this envelope actually came with the paper pack. So I didn't have to make that one. I just cut it out and folded it, which was nice. I like it when they do that. And then this back dress is not a tuck pocket. It's just a decoration. And that is where I've left off. It was like 12:30 when I got that far. So I'll part with it and hopefully be done with it tonight or tomorrow and add it into my Etsy store. If that answers everybody's question. So, like I said, this is what we did tonight. I will upload the video to YouTube tomorrow. And I'll have a supplies list for that. For everything in the video. I have it all set out here so I won't forget. And it will be up tomorrow. Probably tomorrow morning. It usually takes about 5 hours to process through TikTok. And then an hour to upload it to YouTube. And hopefully that answers all you guys' questions. And I hope you guys enjoyed making this accordion book tonight. I'll add this to my Etsy store probably right after this live. And thank you guys. Thank you for all the likes, all the gifts, all the follows. I appreciate you guys joining me. And remember, on Mondays, I will be live. I'll probably start at 6:30, so I'm not going past 10. Because I'm usually tired, and then stuff starts my hands don't start working right. So it'll probably be 6:30 from now on Monday. And I'll always have something to put together for everything. Thank you guys.